This is Drop and Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of gamers come together to talk all about video games. I'm your host, Patrick, and dropping in this week, Jerica Hannah, aka Jerkachu. Jerica, how we doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I feel like today is just fantastic. I don't know, like some kind of accent just came out there.
It's a little
I
German,
think I was like,
a little.
oh really? Because I was thinking
yeah.
like what's her face from The Pit, you know?
Oh, sure.
Boston. That's where take a number. That's how it goes coming out like
Little
Baby
Pittsburgh
Jane
accent.
Doe.
Baby Jane Doe.
Yeah. I wish I could have played more of Pokopia.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to talk about it. I need to know if they're dead. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I feel like this game might destroy me.
Is this a lost situation?
Like, it might be.
Could be.
It might be. That other voice you hear also dropping in this week, Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips. Jordan, how we doing?
I am good. Me and Jerica and Audrey were just squadding up for some marathon not long ago before we went live, so that was a lot of fun.
Love that.
Can't wait to talk about it. Save for the content, as they say.
Oh, yeah. Dumpster Boy in the chat asks, I'm sorry, but does everyone have a different background than usual? Cayman, I think maybe the edible is hitting a little too hard, perhaps.
Or am I? Am I on Mars? I hope so.
I hope so, too.
This may be Cayman's first time seeing... Actually, I forget if I've been really on content since I've got the shelf set up and like decorated.
Oh,
so
that could be the first
That could
time
be
we've seen.
different.
For sure.
Everyone say hello to Evie. Where's my hand in relation to the... Yes.
There she is.
Yes,
yeah.
she is gorgeous. She is beauty. She is grace.
Yeah, well, to do my best Jake Twitching impression, listen, we have a lot of video game stuff to talk about tonight. However, before we do that, I want to do some housekeeping. We're going to be talking about all sorts of new releases this evening, but if for some reason you don't know who we are, maybe it's your first time here, maybe you don't know about Swanky Joinkers in the chat, you don't know about Cirrus Shard in the chat, Coal Mines, the aforementioned Jake Twitching, and of course Fancy Nancy, we're Drop and Drop Out. Jerica, why don't you tell the folks at home a little bit about Drop and Drop Out?
I feel like we're pretty cool people. There's 7 of us, is that right? Unless there's another number. I haven't really counted it a long time.
I count Josh twice, but
there could be 7.5. Yeah, 8.5. Depends on the day. Josh is 2 people.
I am kind of bloated tonight, so 7.5 is good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just 7 gamers that like to talk about video games, like Patrick is saying, and we have different shows like pretty much every day of the week. If it's not me and Kayla and Josh talking about Resident Evil 9 on One More Game, used to be Video Game Book Club, but we don't read books, so we had to change the name. It's just video games. So hope you're playing along with us. We just kicked off episode 1 this Monday, and yeah, we're going to talk about the next 3 hours next Monday. And let's see, we have Spotlight Games on Tuesday. Wednesdays are up in the air, but you can always catch
anybody's game.
Jake Twitchin is always streaming. He's always streaming in the mornings, especially like 6 a.m. sometimes. And I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, on Thursdays, you have whoever is available to drop in from this wonderful crowd to talk about what's the hot thing in video games this week. Sometimes games. We play games.
That's so true.
From time to time.
True. And sometimes we even publish video essays, as in this week we dropped a review. Cognitive Clips, the first ever Cognitive Clips review on the channel. Jordan, talk about it.
Very exciting. So yes, this was for Planet of Lana 2. Shout out to the Thunderful Insiders program and for Wishfully for that. Yeah, I was a pretty big fan of Planet of Lana back in 2023. So I was very excited to check this one out, and it's some good stuff. But I won't. I want you to click it. I want you to click it. You know, like don't.
Click that flickin' link. Well, let's jump right into the show. As I said, we're going to be talking about all sorts of new releases. We got Pokopia, we got Planet of Lana, we got Marathon, we got Slay the Spire 2 early access, and maybe if there's time at the end, we might talk a little bit about some Resident Evil Requiem as well. Did I forget anything that we should be talking about? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm
excited for Scott Pilgrim EX, but I don't have a chance to play it yet. So.
Hell yeah. If I could be so selfish, if I could just be a selfish boy, I would love to start with, I think, what I would say might be the most exciting universally agreed upon of the releases of this week, and that is Pokemon Pokopia, released
Mm.
today on the Nintendo Switch 2. I've been playing, Jerica's been playing. Cog, correct me if I'm wrong, you have not been playing.
Correct, not yet. I
Yeah,
plan on it at some point, but just not yet.
cool. Yeah, this shop this morning, $69.99 over on the eShop Switch 2 exclusive. If you don't know what Pokemon Pokopia is, it's kind of hard to describe. I feel like everyone is kind of stumbling over themselves trying to describe this game, but it's essentially because like a lot of people are saying it's Animal Crossing meets Minecraft, but Pokemon, and I feel like that's not a great way to describe this game. I feel like the more succinct way to describe it is it's Viva Pinata, but with Pokemon. I think that Viva Pinata really checks more of the boxes than
Hmm.
those other two games. Um, but it is Pokemon's first like real attempt at the like city cozy building situation simulation type thing. And boy, is this game good. Cog?
I've also heard it compared to Dragon Quest Builders.
Oh yeah, for
Apparently,
sure.
I think that it's like the same developers maybe worked on this one
Oh nice.
along
I
with
didn't know that.
Nintendo. Yeah, I've just heard that they're the grapevine. I haven't played those games either myself, but I can see it from
For
what I
sure.
have seen, like little gameplay of it. So yeah,
For sure. Yeah, this one, when I first saw it, I remember thinking like, what the, I don't know. I don't know that this does anything for me. Um, and then I just kept seeing it and I just kept getting so much hotter on this game as well. A very important detail that I skipped over is that you play as Ditto. And if you don't know Ditto, Ditto the Pokemon that can just transform into any other Pokemon. So you get all the different Pokemon moves like a water gun from Squirtle, a cut from Scyther. There's so many things you can do. But Jericho, what are you thinking about Pokopia so far?
I need to know if they're all dead. I feel like this game is being set up to rip out my heart, but
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't. I mean, this appears to be a Pokemon game for people that don't play Pokemon games. And if you do, I
Mm.
think both groups of people, I'll actually use Audrey as an example. She literally was trying to play this morning, has never played one single Pokemon game. I grew up with it, so two dynamics here,
Okay.
playing all of the originals, and I was just like, she also was not too impressed with like some of the gameplay. She's like, that doesn't look like something I would get into. It's weird. She thought Ditto as a human is weird, but I was like, I
Sure.
think it's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, she was trying to download it. We have a Switch Lite, and she sent me a text when I was away, and she's like, "Hey, is this only a Switch 2 game?" And I was like, "I didn't know that. Guess it is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
is."
Yeah.
And I was
Yep.
like, "Oh shit, are you trying to play Pokopia? I haven't even played it yet. You're trying to play. You're trying to beat me to playing it." And she's like, "Yeah, look." And then she actually booted up and played a little bit. She's like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool." So
nice.
back to my point, like, I think if you did a good job, like, sort of, what is this game?
Oh, thank you so much.
You did. I still think it's a little bit of its own
Yeah,
thing,
it is.
and I'm only like an hour and a half in, so I could be totally wrong. But I'm like, this feels really unique, and I don't like. I really think this is a Pokemon game for people that don't play Pokemon, and I think everybody get into it.
I like that take because I feel like so far, so this game really it leans a lot into. I mean, I'm about 3.5 hours into this game, and I've already fucking around with like 16 Pokemon, all
Oh,
sorts
nice.
of, and all of them have
Jealous.
different abilities and serve different purposes in this world. And there's even some of them where I'm like, I feel like I must have seen you before, but you feel like a new Pokemon to me. And I know that there isn't, or that it isn't, but um, I think you are onto something there where like this, I think at the very least, it doesn't feel like there's a barrier for someone who doesn't know anything about the franchise. I
Best
would be willing to
tutorial
bet.
so
Yeah.
far. I feel like I'm not stuck. It just got me into the action, unless something's different about this one. But I feel like, okay, I love that I'm not being like taught like every 5 seconds. It's teaching you, but it's not like I'm not stuck somewhere having to read a lot of text, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, I
The
remember talking about that
onboarding
on
of this game. Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
You're good. I remember talking about that with Nick over on Friday Night Games Cast, as we were talking about Legends ZA a month or two ago, and just like how frustrating it is for people like us who grew up playing Pokemon to be like, I know what a Pokemon is. You don't have to tell me what a Pokeball is. All that stuff. But it's like it's hard to, or it's easy to forget, I should say, that they're geared toward the kids. Like I'm over here like reading all the text to, my daughter who's 5, who's just firing up Leaf Green for the first time, and she's so excited to pick Bulbasaur. You know what I mean? So yeah, exclamation point kids in the chat. But it's so easy to forget that sometimes. But like with Pokopia, like you're saying, maybe because it's not quite a mainline thing and it's kind of got a different audience, they don't feel the need to over explain things. Is that the vibe that you're both getting? Because that's exciting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, because it's kind of, like the first time you see Bulbasaur and he tells you like what he can do, then it's like, okay, it's obvious the purpose of Bulbasaur in this world. It's obvious the purpose of Squirtle in this world. And it does one of the things that kind of make it a little similar to Animal Crossing is um once you befriend these Pokemon, and because not every single Pokemon gives you a skill, but they might still like help you in the world of Pokopia.
Okay.
But you can give them things to make them like you more, which is also kind of like a Stardew Valley thing. And they'll give you missions like, I want you to put something like a toy in my habitat, or I want you to make my habitat brighter. Like it's just like a little mission to make them more comfortable in their space. So something that I'm so impressed with this game so far is how there is always something to be doing. And it's like, I feel like that
Ooh.
is such a key with this type of game, because I remember the very first time playing Animal Crossing New Horizon, when that first launched, of like, there was only so much you can do the first like week of that game each day, where it's like,
Yes.
okay, I've kind of done all my tasks, and now there just is, I have to wait until tomorrow. And from what I hear, there are things that are time specific later with like building of certain things, but there's always something that you could be doing, because also this world is massive. Like, I even being 3.5 hours in, there's whole massive areas that I've like seen from afar, but I'm not even close to being able to get to. And I'm just like kind of in awe about how much that there always is to do in this game. Jerica, how much time did you get with it so far?
About an hour and a
About
half.
an hour.
Not as much as I
And
wanted to.
and I'm
But
sure in that hour and a half, you're already like, there's so fucking much to do here.
yeah, I'll get to it a little bit later where it makes sense, but I just want to talk about like really what is most interesting so far to me. In terms of like story and what's being played out, let me know when that's appropriate. But as far as like gameplay goes, I love that you were saying that. I'm so glad it's not based on a real 24-hour clock, because like I hopped back
Yeah.
into Animal Crossing after I sort of didn't think about like saving my island on the old Switch. I just like whatever, deleted it. Didn't even consider keeping everything. I didn't really care. But now I'm just like starting over on Animal Crossing after the update, and it doesn't suck. That sounds sort of mean, but I'm just like, oh my god, like I have to cheat to be able to have fun at this game right now, and I'm like, I just need the pacing to be better, not
Mhm.
something I'm playing the next morning. Like I don't have that time of commitment anymore. But I am excited to see like the pacing in this, and always, yeah, to your point, like always having something to do.
Yeah.
Or I can already see that it's really exciting to find out what other Pokemon are in this area and what else can I have come to my it's almost like I'm at a zoo, but the Pokemon aren't trapped there, but I don't know, like it's just like my own little like aquarium for these Pokemon. What do you call it?
Ecosystem? Environment?
Ecosystem sanctuary, whatever. Yeah, and it's
I can't
I'll
I
find
say,
guess that's why it's,
aquariums famously also keep the fish that trapped. But-
I know.
there doesn't
I
seem to
don't,
be a way to escape this world, that's for sure.
but I love that I just get to watch them interact. Like I watch Bulbasaur and Charmander chase each other for
Oh,
like like 20 minutes taking
It's so
pictures of them. It's so
cute.
it's like
oh my goodness.
this shit's so good. Like how cool. I can't wait to that's just at the beginning of the game. That's like 30 minutes in. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see like what other moments that it like recaptures from like my original Pokemon Snap playthrough, right?
Sure,
Where
yeah.
you get to see those moments, and that's what I can't wait to recreate with this one, because I'm sure there's tons of
Yeah,
chances.
I don't want to spoil like the Pokemon that you're about to get and like the powers that you get from them, but there has been something so joyous about coming across a Pokemon and then realizing, okay, is this going to be one where it gives me a power, or is this going to be one where I can go to it and say, hey, like, follow me to do this thing? So, like, as an example, we all know Charmander's in the game. You don't get the power to blow fire, at least I haven't, but you can have Charmander come and like start a fire for you. Whereas with Squirtle, you can shoot water out and like water a plant or
Right.
water a tree, like bring a tree back to life, etc. Um, so that moment of like, ooh, okay, I'm seeing Pokemon X, and I'm like, "Oh, is this going to
And
be one
why?
where why also there? And is this going to be one where I get their power or not? And it's been very fun. Whenever you do get the power to be like, ooh, okay, now all of a sudden it's like that thing that in this kind of a game, in a Stardew and an Animal Crossing, where it's like, ooh, okay, I have this thing now. So now I can punch through this thing, or I can climb this thing, or whatever, to go to a whole other area that will have so many more things to do. And Sirius was saying something in the chat earlier that I really agree with. He said, I don't feel frustration playing it like I do Animal Crossing. The friction is pretty much gone, and the characters are adorable and better animated than any Pokemon game yet, as far as I know. That friction, this game, the lack of friction has been so relieving to me, other than I did have a lot of friction in my first 15 minutes where I got like a game breaking bug 15 minutes
Oh,
into
Oh
the
no.
game.
no.
Thankfully it was very, very early. But one of the, so as a warning for anybody that is about to start this game, when you first start the game and you go into the first area where there's a Bulbasaur and a Squirtle, or first
I'm
it's just
worried
Squirtle.
that I almost probably did what you're about to say. I'm just curious. Keep going.
You might have almost. It starts with Squirtle, and Squirtle, like, you wake Squirtle up and you learn the power. The first power you get is Squirtle's water power. And then Squirtle, you like start doing little things around, like then you find the Bulbasaur. And Bulbasaur, by finding Bulbasaur, you start learning what habitats are. So throughout this game, there are certain arrangements of things, like maybe 4 bush or 4 tall grasses on their own is a tall grass habitat where you might find a Bulbasaur, a Bellsprout, those kinds of things. Or long grass by a tree is like a shaded area, so that might be where you find a Pokemon that would want shade, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't, in terms of what the habitat is and like what it achieves. But very, very early in the game, once Squirtle sees that Bulbasaur has a habitat, Squirtle's like, I want a habitat. Will you build a habitat for me? But my Squirtle decided to climb the tree that was brought to life next to Bulbasaur, and I couldn't do anything about it. I can't climb the tree. I can't headbutt the tree to get him to fall down. I can headbutt the tree, but it doesn't make Squirtle fall down. But I just couldn't do anything about it. I tried even like climbing up this like mountain area next to it and jumping and seeing if I could land on the tree. I couldn't. But I was like, I went to Reddit, and basically everyone was like, yeah, this happened to me too, and I had to delete the game and re-download it and start over again. But literally, when I say that is the only issue I've had with this game so far, everything else has been just smooth sailing. I fucking mean it. Like, I am so impressed with Pokopia. I'm getting that like beginning of COVID Animal Crossing. All I want to do is do this thing because it's bringing me so much joy, and I have not had that in a very long time.
You know who else is finding joy, Patrick?
Who?
A lot of our community
Yeah?
over in our Discord. Join the Discord. French Dip Design says 5 hours into Pokopia, and I already know I'm going to sink 100 plus hours into it. They're injecting so much personality into every Pokemon we've known about for 30 years. Watching Scyther fly up to me and go, "Yo, French, are you busy right now?" has me feeling like a kid again. His wonderful husband, David, also mentions Pokopia and says that gonna be hunched over my Switch, which has been sitting pretty dormant for the last few months. Are gonna feeling his neck hurt for doing that.
Yeah.
Our very own Kayla, who's now in the chat. Welcome, Kayla.
Hello, Kayla.
Pokopia is incredible already, and I'm only like 30 minutes in so far. I love the aesthetic. I'm not a lifelong Pokemon fan, and this felt like a nice entry point. Viva Pinata mixed with Minecraft and Animal Crossing vibes. So kind of all the things that we were talking about. And then Coal Mines talks about picking it up for the night, but I don't think he'd actually gotten to start it yet before he let us know in the Discord. So yeah, thank you all for chiming in. We always love to see what you're playing as well.
Jerica, thank you, Jordan. Jerica, you brought in the story a little bit earlier. I want to dive into that more because I am shocked at how much story is in this game so far.
Well, I don't know much,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling that everyone's talking. Can I just sort of talk about it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm only an hour and a half in, so it's not gonna be huge spoilers. But like, we were all wondering where did all the people go? Where are the humans? And the Pokemon are also feeling that way. But there's no sign of humanity. We don't know if it's like near on automata or whatever. Maybe the Pokemon are making Earth habitable again for humans, but they don't really know that. So that can't be the case. Yeah, is this Earth? But also a part of it, like how they're talking, which is a whole other level of, I can't tell if this is making me extra happy or this going to rip my heart out, because already they're talking about, like, can we get the humans back? If we can make this place pretty again, habitable, the humans should come back. They should come back. Or maybe we'll see our trainers again. Yeah. I don't know. And it's so sad. And they're talking so optimistically. And I just wonder, will the humans actually come back? I don't know. Do you really want them to come back? I guess these Pokemon do, but whatever. And then just like to what French Dip shared with just like having the Pokemon, we've always known Pokemon have personality and they talk. Well, they say their names, but they have like a tone to it. You can tell if they're happy or they're sad. I know there's a few Pokemon that talk. I'm not here to name all of those. That's not what this is. But I've just never just really like listened to Pokemon have conversations, and it's opening up another lens for me.
Yeah.
As someone that has just heard them say their names for so long. And I'm like, am I getting emotionally attached to a Bulbasaur I just met? I thought I was attached when I got Bulbasaur for the first time in I don't know, Pokemon Red or whatever. But now I'm just like, he wants me to find him a flower bed to sleep in, or he found a stick to give me. I don't know. Like, that's just so cute. I just unpacked a lot, but I'm scared this game is gonna wreck me.
Dude, there's a moment, you probably haven't gotten to it yet, but it's not that far in. Have you seen a Pidgey yet?
No.
Okay, I want to go ahead and mention this because I think it's interesting for this conversation. I found a Pidgey about 2 hours in, and when you find the Pidgey, I don't remember the exact line. I meant to screenshot it and I didn't, but it basically is like, because you look human as Ditto, and it's basically like scared that it thinks that you're gonna try to catch it, and then it realizes that you're another Pokemon and wants to just like, and is excited that they get to fucking live, basically. And I'm like, the implications in this game already are so crazy, because something that I don't know if you've come across this either. I came across it in the first like 10 minutes when I was furiously trying to figure out how to survive losing this progress. But there's like notes around the world, like there's environmental storytelling of like people that have written things from the past. And I'm like, there might be something really big in Pokopia's story that we are building toward, because there's already these couple little hints about like the former world, essentially, and that humans, like most of these Pokemon, have interacted with humans in some capacity before. Some miss the humans, like Tangrowth, who's like your Professor Oak in here, and some are glad that you're not human, like the Pidgey. So I'm like, I really hope
the fuck went down.
I know.
Do you all know like the theories? Like it's based on Lieutenant Dan, whatever his name was in the first game, but like he's like a general or I guess lieutenant from like a war.
God.
It was a very good quick catch. Well, I guess he's a lieutenant.
Yeah. Words are very difficult, but he's one of the only actual grown-ups really, like outside, or they talk about like a war that involved the humans and Pokemon. So there's this whole thing of like, your character usually has at least one parent that's there at the house when you first start the game, and there's like Lieutenant Surge, that's his name, right?
Surge, yeah.
I always want to say like LT Smash from Simpsons, like that's right, Lieutenant Smash. But there's not a ton of like adults his age. It's usually like your parents' age, and then there's like this big gap where it's like old people, like some of the professors and stuff. So there's like this whole theory that there was a bunch of the adult population was wiped out by this war that was between like that involved the Pokemon and stuff. And like
I've not heard this theory before. I'm so intrigued.
I'm probably butchering it as you can probably tell.
There is like a Pokemon war that happened at some point that I remember reading about, but I don't know the facts. So maybe that's in this. That makes sense.
Because I think the only time that's ever mentioned really is in the first game or the first season of the anime, whatever it was, for Lieutenant Surge talking about fighting in the war with his Pokemon, and then like people just theory crafted after that. But yeah, chat. If you remember more details than I did or can phrase it better than I did, please go ahead and drop that. But maybe that's what happened here. Maybe this is like the battleground where all of their trainers die,
or they're just in limbo, like Lost situation. Sorry, spoilers for Lost.
It wasn't limbo.
In the in between, So I don't know, but I feel like it's not going to be I'm afraid this will end on a note that will maybe be positive, but it will make me cry.
Yeah, made Greg cry.
Hell yeah,
for real.
Yeah, that was like the title for the episode today was Pokopia made Greg cry.
Jerica, you want to call Greg right now on speakerphone and ask him about it?
I would not. I think I'd throw up. I just had way too much of this slush. I can't do that. I would throw up.
Oh yeah.
I drink it so fast.
That could be
just give me his number. I'll call him. It's fine.
An easy million. Projectile vomiting, calling someone on the podcast.
I think they're dead.
Dude, I don't disagree. Like, there is something weird going on here. Sirius earlier asked, like, are they in a Pokeball? That's also very interesting. Because also in my head canon, it's like you were saying earlier, typically you only hear them say their own names. In my head canon, they are just saying their own names, but they all speak each like the language. So maybe Bulbasaur is just saying Bulbasaur, but somehow Pidgey understands what Bulbasaur is saying, and somehow Squirtle does as well. And since we were Ditto, we do too.
It's the I am Groot thing. Like he's speaking actual sentences, but all anybody hears before they know him is I am Groot, I am Groot. So yeah. I think so.
I don't know. There. I am really intrigued by where this might go because there is already some fuck shit going on, and I'm so fucking locked in.
Well, that confirms it. Like some shit goes down if Greg was crying. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm ready to know. I want to know. Wonder how long it takes to beat the game.
Yeah, I didn't hear the context. It seemed like it was like at the end of the game. So maybe it's just like a heartwarming because he's like a dad. So maybe it's like a heartwarming thing that made him cry, not like a.
Does Ditto have a kid? Who's got children in this game?
Ditto gets pregnant. Have you guys had a moment? Well, Jordan, obviously you haven't because you haven't played it. Have you gotten any moments, Jerica, where Ditto becomes Ditto instead of
yes?
And that the first time that happened, that freaked me out. I was like,
it's weird seeing it not outside of the human form. You get used to it really quick. I was surprised by how much I was okay with it, and then it turned into Ditto. I was like, oh yeah, you're actually a Ditto.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see as well, because there must be something at some point that lets us start like changing our appearance in some capacity, because there's no way that we just stay in the exact outfit that we started the game with. But I think there's so much potential already for how much this game gives you in terms of just what the world can do and how dynamic what the Pokemon want can feel like, where like as you start meeting them, sometimes they have like a really small mission, like get me something that makes it brighter, but then other times they're like, hey, I want you to take me to the other side because I'm interested about what's over there, which is typically like the game
the other side
essentially. No,
so
typically the game is saying, okay, go over there now and start exploring to that area. But what's up, Jerica?
Have you gotten like missions that like take like 20 minutes or so to complete, or like lengthy like tasks yet?
I would say the longest mission I've gotten so far was like 10 minutes. But well, no, that's not true actually, because that was just the beginning of the mission. But now I'm in the middle of that mission still, and I've probably been doing that for about 35 minutes at this point.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's like a multi-leveled mission where it's like, okay, now I have this thing done. Now I have to go get this other thing to try to. Essentially, I'm trying to like free a Pokemon that's trapped in some capacity.
Fuck, another trapped.
Yeah. So this game, man, I'm so stressed about how much is coming out right now, or rather now how much is out. Like several people in the community have been like, when are you streaming Resident Evil Requiem? Which I might do a little bit after the podcast potentially. Don't hold me to it, but I'm hoping to. But it's like, now I really want to play this. And later in the show, I'm going to talk about how I am fucking gobsmacked with how good Slay the Spire 2 early access already is. So I'm like, where's the time for all of this, Jordan? I don't know what to do.
That's why I'd already kind of, we'll get to it shortly enough, but like I played the server smash for Marathon, really enjoyed that, played it on stream with Kayla and Jerica. So I ended up getting that, and I was like, well, like I just got Fire Red and Leaf Green so that I can have, the kids can have their copy and I can have my copy. And now there's Marathon out. And I'm like, well, I'd feel kind of like that's a bit much to buy like technically 4 games in the span of like a week. So like, I'm going to hold off on Pokopia for now. Like I really, really do want to get to it, but it's like, I got 3 games for $80 instead of just the 1 game for 70, technically. But not that that's like, but you know what I mean? Just it's a lot at once, like you're saying. And
100%.
yeah, time is both relative and short. So
For sure. David James in the chat said they also keep making a point to talk about how dry it is and the climate in general, which makes me wonder if there's a commentary about the humans bringing their own destruction, which I think I've not clocked yet, but that is a very interesting point as well.
Is this gonna tell the future? Is Pokemon trying to, tell this story? Is it gonna try to save us from ourselves? I don't know.
If Pokemon can't do it, no one can.
Truly.
So
famously.
Any final thoughts on Pokopia before we go into our next game to talk about?
God, I just hope they're not dead.
Me too.
Please don't let them be dead, and we have to help them remember that they
Can
were
we get
alive.
Can we get some hashtag Pokopia in the chat, please? Thank you.
There we go.
Pokopia is very good. I'm also very interested to see where this game goes regarding like DLC or like bringing in new characters or Pokemon, or if this is just content complete from the jump. I don't know if they've said yet what the plan is, but I'll be very interested to see because I could see this game like them introducing a whole other area with different Pokemon. Easy.
Like, where's the seasons? I want a Christmas area. I want to go. Like, I want to see the Pokemon. I don't know, ice skate or something. Can they get skates? I'm sure we can make them. Ditto's got hands now. We can make them some skates.
There's a big old like evergreen tree Pokemon. Forget his name, but he's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Or is that a Abomasnow? Is that what it is? I don't know.
Abomasnow. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he has a tree, right?
Yeah.
Obama Snow.
Okay. Yeah. But no, I think DLC is very probable. That would be dumb if they didn't do it. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Easy get.
Well, Jordan, since Jerica and I got to talk all about Pokopia for a bit, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with Planet of Lana 1-1?
11, yes. Planet of Lana 11, you really need to play the first 10 to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed the first one when it came out. I think it was like my number 10 that year. So it wasn't like the best of the best, but it was still really great. The visuals and the music, as Patrick commented on the video, it's like insane. The developers were pretty open about saying how they were really they were inspired by like the Inside, the Limbo, like those games, but they just kind of wanted to do it in a more like a sci-fi setting and also just brighter. Yeah. So they also took inspiration for the visuals from like Studio Ghibli and all that. So that's pretty. Once you know that, you see it immediately when you see like any screenshot. But yeah, the sequel I think was it's in a weird space for me because it carried over so much from the first game that I did like, but also so much from the first game that I like wish they would have fixed. Like one of my biggest complaints from the first game was the movement, because Lana I don't think they really say what her age is in the game, but she's like young, like maybe like tweens, early teens kind of age appears to be at least. And her movement is weirdly sluggish. Like when you're trying to like jump up and stuff, it takes a good second or two to really get you to hang onto the ledge and then climb up. And it's the kind of game where it actually makes you hit A or whatever the button is every time to like jump up to the next thing. So you can't just like hold the control stick to just keep climbing or like let go to stop climbing for the second to like let the wind blow past you or whatever. And all that carries over into the sequel, which I thought was a weird decision because that was like the sticking point for me and for it seems like a lot of people when you go back and look at the reviews and stuff. But it's still, I mean, if you have any love for those kinds of games, definitely check this out. I think it's on Game Pass. Even if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's it's an indie title. It's probably a budget, $20-25 I would guess, but really, really expanded like the environments that you're seeing for this one. There's a lot more variety to where you're exploring around in. So that was really good to see. And they did a great job with all that, like with these like snowy mountains and this like beautiful lush forest and stuff. It's it's like every other second you're taking a screenshot kind of game. Like, I don't know if it's quite Neva levels like it was for me and you, Patrick, but like,
Sure.
that was like your most screenshotted game if I remember. But
Yeah,
it's
for
still it's still beautiful. The soundtrack is incredible. There is a point. It's funny because I actually dropped this person's review in our Discord because I forget even how we've like interacted with each other, but we're like mutuals on Instagram and stuff. And like she has her own review that was really well done, and how she talks about dropped a magnet. She talks about how she really enjoyed that this was the type of game that leaves a lot of the story up to interpretation for stuff like that. They don't spell things out for you. They even tell you when you first start a new file, like, hey, we're gonna have a prologue here that kind of recaps the first game, and it's gonna have captions. But after that, like, this is a made up language. There is no direct translation to all this, and like, you get to interpret this in like, you know, however you see, like, with the music and their body language and like the tone and whatever else. And I think that works in a lot of ways for a lot of games, but for this one, it didn't quite land for me. I think that it was great that they expanded the scope for the sequel, as a lot of sequels should, but in a way, the way that they expanded the scope kind of made the more vague and like up to interpretation storytelling not quite land for me, like personally, because I knew that we were getting a code because we're you know, Dido is part of the Thunderful Insiders program, so I knew we were getting a code, and I'm one of the ones who was really hyped for it, so I knew I'll be the one playing it first, at least. And I didn't bother looking at the Steam page or really watching too many trailers after that reveal last year. There was stuff in the Steam store page that explains more about the game than playing the game did.
Yeah, that's
like,
a problem, dude.
Yeah, and like our good friend the Dan Good Show, you know, he has his games to watch series he does like on the first of every month, and when he was highlighting it for this month, I'm like, where did he get that information? Because I didn't get that information.
Yeah.
And again, like, for some people, like the Ducky is her, like, you know, content creator name. Like, she enjoyed that. She took a lot from it, in the way that she played it. But the way that I was moving through the game and playing through it and stuff, like, there were just so many things that I wish had been made more explicit, because it would have made the world feel more fleshed out to me.
Yeah.
But there's always a non-zero chance that I'm an idiot. So if you play through it, you may pick up on
not
things.
with this kind of game. No, I don't think
I feel
so.
like I've seen the gameplay, and it looks like that's what, like, literally as you were talking, like, the biggest question I have is like, is this story good? Because like, I just never got to this game, never got to the first one, and I saw a sequel, and I was like, okay, maybe I go back and replay this and get to it. I just forgot about it, but still, every time I see it, I'm like, does the story match like the really cool aesthetic that this game has? And based on what you told me,
I was like, no.
Sounds like it doesn't, which really sucks. And like, I think it's not lazy is the wrong word, but like leaving, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want the pressure of creating the story for myself, you know, and in a world that looks like that it could be super, I don't know, fleshed out, way better than I could ever dreamed of. I don't want to do that, give the game a disservice. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'll, to try to be a little bit more, like, I won't spoil things, but like, I'm gonna tell you like the jumping off point for each game, because that's what you see like the first like 20 minutes. So like, it's not really gonna spoil anything. Like, in the first game, it's like, of course, again, you're Lana, and these like machines start appearing, like coming down out of the sky, out of nowhere. They like fly down, they like capture your sister, they capture most of the village, and like, so that's like the jumping off point for, or like the, you know, inception for the story of that game, is like, you are trying to find your sister. You're trying to find all these people that were taken by these machines, and you find little Mooey, the little like monkey cat looking thing that's like your companion that helps you solve the puzzles, and that you're like, you have this like really special bond with, and like there's really cool things that you learn along the way, blah blah blah. But like, that's like the jumping off point for the first game, and that is so strong to have. Like, again, you think I'm not a big Ghibli knower. I've only seen a couple of the movies, but like, famous for like having these not only beautiful visuals, but these are really impactful, emotional human stories. And that is really well done in the first game, where again, they are speaking this language that doesn't have a direct translation and all that stuff. But like, you're a young girl whose sister was just taken, and you're all alone in this big world, and you're trying to do whatever you can to save her and all that. And that's like a really, really strong human story. And then in the second game, again, this is like what happens in the first, like, 20 minutes. Like, it's a few years have passed, and it's like, Lana and Mui are in this redacted, and there's like a young girl, an even younger girl that's there with them. And like, they're kind of playing together. They're kind of exploring this little thing, and they're going back to the village, and some like, not so nice humans just like fly by and drop off some like weird, like, I don't know if it's radioactive, it's like poisonous, something like, so they drop some, mysterious thing that's like poisonous, and like the little girl gets hurt. And so that's kind of like the jumping off point for the game of like why you're going to these other areas, is you're finding ingredients to help her, like to help heal her. I'm like, okay, I was like, yeah, that's not a bad jumping off point for a story of like, oh, you have a little friend and like you're trying to save her kind of thing. But like, it's not quite as strong as, oh, my sister was just captured by invading robots. We need to solve the mystery of this. And like, so there's things that you see along the way that, again, the Steam page kind of gives more clarity to than the game itself does. And I think that's where the disconnect was for me, was like, that's a little bit of a stereotype of a game of like, oh, you're going on a extended fetch quest. That's very reductive. I'm just trying to explain. But like, you're going on like an extended quest to like find these 3 key things to like save the person that got hurt. And like, that's not a bad thing, but it's been done so many times. And like, that's not as interesting to me as find the mystery of where these robots came from, and like, find the mystery of where your sister is and all that. So there's other things that happen in the game, of course, beyond just that, but it just didn't start from the same highs as I think that the first game did in terms of story. And then on top of that, broadening the scope while still sticking to the not explaining things aspect of it was just a little bit like, still to me would be worth playing for sure, especially if you like these kind of games and if you like the first game. But I personally would have ranked it a little bit lower than the first. Again, not like a complete garbage, burn it, but just not like, it didn't have the same impact to me as the first one did. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
I didn't finish the first one. I only got I got very short. But hearing it be even more unclear on the story, I'm like, I will never touch this game. I'm just not interested at all with this. Like, it feels like, with how much of a same experience it seems to be, as pretty as it is and as nice as it seems to be to listen to, there's too much out now that checks all the boxes, that it's like, maybe eventually, put it on the wish list, I'll get around to it at some point. But I'm disappointed by that. I had my eye on Planet of Lana 2 to see if it was like, if it had the sequel situation where it breaks through and there's like, okay, let me go finish the first one and then play the second one. But I'm not getting that vibe from what you're talking.
Like, and that's the thing too. Like that's kind of where I was sitting, was like, it didn't. And I think I said that in the review, was like, if you're looking for a game that really evolves the gameplay of the first game, then I didn't really get that from this for myself. Like, you are doing you are doing different things, because like, again, very, very minor spoiler, because you see it in the trailers and stuff for the second game, but like, Mui eventually gets the ability to like kind of briefly control smaller creatures. So like, you're in the second game, you're like, you're taking over like a little fish to go and like spray some ink so an aggressive fish can't see you swim past, and you can solve the puzzle, that kind of a thing. But like, none of that was that impactful to me. And everything else that you're doing, besides just the variety of the creatures that you're controlling, everything else that you're doing are things that you've done in the first game anyway. Just in different settings. And again, they're very well done settings. Sure. They're some of the stuff is pretty clever, but it just was nothing that really, as you were saying, nothing that really like broke through the mold and really evolved the gameplay in the way that I wanted it to. Yeah. And again, I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm only one person. Sometimes I'm 3. When I checked earlier today, just, we keep an eye on Open Critic pretty often, because at least I do, because of the Fantasy Critic, and nobody drafted this game, but it's, as of the earlier today or yesterday, it was still sitting a few points higher on Open Critic than the first game did. So like,
Yeah, well,
a
that's
lot
good.
of people are really, really digging it, more so than they did the first game. But I'm just didn't do it for me personally,
Yeah,
as
for sure.
much.
Makes sense. Well, as we mentioned at the top of this discussion, go watch that review, dropindropoutpod.com or youtube.com/dropoutpod. It's very good, and Jordan put a lot of work into it. So
Thank you.
we sure would love it if you'd go and give it a watch.
Yeah, and to all of you who already have, thank you very, very much. That was very the drop and drop community just they come through. Y'all do so.
They come through every time, huh? Jerica, Jordan, my friends, my co-hosts, you've been playing some Marathon, and I would like to hear what you think about the launch so far.
Jerica, you go first. I just talked a lot.
Okay, cool. I'll give you a break.
Thanks, girl.
Yeah. I don't know why I just went and grabbed the most noisiest thing. And I throw that away. Let me grab my paper towel. It's not as loud. I'm almost all in on Marathon if I just knew more about how to be great, you know? And it's not even
Say more, please.
but I don't think, and I'm okay though. Here's the deal though. I'm okay with knowing that might be normal for a few days, because there's just, and I'll say this, for $40, you get so much. And I think that's a little overwhelming for me right now, which I'm just used to that as a Destiny player. I think it's totally worth $40.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just saying that because there's just so many things that I don't know what the fuck to equip to my loadout? Yeah, pretty much. But I feel like that's a good problem to have. I think for Destiny players, it's going to be easier to get us bought into this, even though it's, you know, Destiny's not an extraction shooter, but I'm just so used to the Destiny interface, the UI, the overload of quests and things to click on, your vault and all of that stuff. Like, I'm so used to that. And then I also think, you know, I've played like one round of Art Raiders, but I've watched people play. I get the gist of what you're doing. I feel like extraction shooter people are also going to be like, they're going to understand it. So I'm interested in the story. All the guns seem really cool. I'm ready to find the gun that's going to really work for me, because once I do,
Yes.
I'm never going to stop playing. Once I do, well, not just the guns. Like, once I find the loadout that works for me, that I know that I can continue to not die with and lose my stuff, which is also a part of the fun. I'm starting to see the thing. Like, it's such a risky thing with the extraction shooters, obviously. And Cog actually asked, like, while we were playing, was like, when should I know if I should attack the other people, the real life players? Should we know that? I should know that. And I'm like, I think that's part of the fun, because that's not an easy one to answer, because I'm starting to think about that. Like, he asked it, and I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, well, it depends. We all have to be on board. Like, I'm really bad at just like hopping into action. You really got to communicate with your teammates with this one. Arc Raider people will get it. Extraction people get it. But like, if I got a lot of loot I really want to play with, like, or I want to keep, you know, I'm gonna look at Jordan and say, "Don't fuck up, buddy. Don't run over there. Tell me if you see somebody." That's not actually
Because if she doesn't tell me not to, I'm gonna.
That's not. Well, I mean, I was actually gonna say, like, that'd be me more likely than not. So, and I'm starting to see, like, okay, that's what I do love about Destiny. Funny enough, is obviously the loot and the grind, but like, I love the communication aspect and like working with people, like over communicating, like really calling out things, like. And I'm just not at that level to feel comfortable of calling out things. I don't know how this world works, and I don't know what I'm picking up's good shit yet.
Right.
There's so many factions, and I'm so like, I'm perusing the armory to see what I can buy, and I'm like, I really like that gun. Oh, I see that there's like a barter system that I have to trade in this metal to get this gun. It's not just currency. And I'm starting to see, like, it's starting to separate in my head. Like, okay,
Sure.
this is the gear I want. I need to figure out what kind of guns I like. But once I find one loadout that really works for me and I'm feeling good, like I'm all in. I think that I'm just at the learning phase right now, and I think a lot of people will be there. I think those two categories, Destiny people, I think it's going to be 50-50. You're either going to love it or hate it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then extraction shooter people might think it's too easy. Because I'm like, if I'm feeling like it's okay to jump into, I feel like I'm a gauge of, okay, wonder if this might be too easy. Even though it's been really hard for me and Cog and Kayla.
And Audrey.
And Audrey, we played today. But yeah, I just don't know. Like,
How
I feel
far
like
do you think? Sorry.
I was going to say, I just feel like the onboarding to me is just a little bit easier to hop into the action and not feel like you're like losing what really matters. So,
How far do you think you are from the classic Ubisoft E3 presentation where you're like, Jordan, I'm on your 6. Watch out, 90-degree angle on your right arm, shoulder, fucking. They're coming from the other side, like that kind of talking to each other, giving each other commands.
I feel like if we stayed on like, well, we started doing that. I think it's
I was gonna say
we gotta learn. Yeah, I started like hopping into my Destiny raid brain.
Yeah, when we did the stream with you and Kayla, I started doing that kind of toward the end of like trying to ping stuff more often and like trying to call stuff out. And I can't remember if it was you or Kayla, but I was telling somebody like, so for those who haven't played yet, there's in every single match that you're in, there's always a chance you're going to run into actual human players or other runners. That's part of the genre. You're going to possibly run into them. But like guaranteed you will run into, or at least like be able to see and can engage with this like basically just robotic security people for like the UESC is what they're called. And so like it's a lot easier to sneak around them because all you have to do is just avoid them. They're not going to like look too hard for you. But of course human players are a little bit smarter than that. So like I think that if I remember correctly, it was a couple hours into the stream with me, you, and Kayla, and we were coming across like a patrol of the robotic ones, and I was like, "Oh wait, don't aggro," and they're like, "What? What are you talking about? What is aggro?" I was like, "Oh right, like not everybody knows what that term means, but like don't attack them, don't draw fire." Like I forget where I first learned that term, but yeah, that's it's a thing for some
learned
games.
That
of, like,
in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, like don't draw enemy attention, because
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy. Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins knows how to get aggro. That's the perfect example.
Yeah, but like again, for a lot of automated security force, like if you don't engage them, then you're pretty good chances you can sneak around them or like avoid them or whatever. More so than the human people who are a little bit smarter. But
I think like as soon as we learn, like I just gotta learn where a few places are and understand the map.
Is the map always the same?
No. You have different areas you can drop into
every time you drop into a map, it's the same map, but there's like different ones. There's like at the start of the game, there's one called Perimeter and one called something Marsh, Dire Marsh, I think. And then you unlock more regions of Tau Ceti as you go, and every time you drop into Perimeter, that map is the same, but you may drop in. That wasn't even intentional, folks. That's just.
I was making eyes at Kayla in the chat. Sorry.
Oh.
She's
making eyes at me. I thought you only had eyes for me, Patrick.
No, I don't see you. She made a comment about me asking about map questions. It's like
here's the deal: the map and the icons. I love every part of this game. Like aesthetically, is my shit. Like literally, I found a building that I was like, I just want it to be my house. Like. And Audrey's like, all of this? Like, yes, all of this, including like the dirty.
I heard the concern in her voice when you said that. She was like, this?
Yeah,
like,
I want it.
Sure?
I want it. But I am a little like, it is taking me a little bit of getting used to like the map. And it's not that overly complicated, but there's just a little bit of everything sort of blend because it's so bright for me. Like some people can dissect this a little quickly, but that's my brain works a little. It obviously works a little bit differently. It's hard to dissect all the different colors and like a little bit sensory overload at times, which Destiny 2's always been a sensory overload.
Sure.
I'm like, man, I really need our objective icon to be like a little bit more bold and separate from all the other colors that are the main. Every bright fucking color on the planet is the color palette of Marathon. So like, I don't know, like stuff can get lost in the sauce. So I don't know if that would hurt new players. I think Bungie people are still used to it. If you're a Destiny fan, you're used to this stuff. But I don't know, brand new players, that might be a little bit of a turn off.
Yeah, I have a couple of thoughts that I was kicking around too. Of like, I know that I dropped it in the Discord the other day, and people were making good points about why they're not quite the same as far as genre is concerned. But like, a lot of the gameplay loop does remind me of Helldivers 2, because like, yeah, if you don't extract or whatever, then you're not gonna take the samples back to the base, and you're not gonna get the experience or like the unlocks for those, but you are still getting the XP for completing the objectives and for killing enemies and all that kind of stuff. So like the progression system, I was even talking to you and Audrey about it when we were playing it like a couple hours ago. Like, I love the progression because like you're still making some sort of forward momentum no matter what happens at the end of the match. Because you have contracts that you can complete the objectives for, whether that's like, sometimes it's literally just, kill 3 of the automated security force. I got one during the service lane that was like break 20 windows, because it was like an anti-establishment kind of like a vibe for that vendor or that contractor, whoever. They were like, yeah, let's stick it to UESC, let's break all their stuff. And then of course, if you do extract, then you get all the other things. But like you're unlocking little what do they call them, the preset like loadouts or whatever. So like every other level, you're actually probably every level, you're getting an automated my God, I cannot talk tonight. Sorry. Like you can just select this little box. It just gives you the loadout for that vendor. So you don't have to worry about like using your really expensive gun that you can possibly lose if you die. So like there's a lot of ways that you can still make progress and still like play and enjoy without worrying about losing all your good loot if you try to like take it into another match and then die. So I really like that aspect of it.
I feel like we're going to need to use our good stuff to get good, because we were just getting destroyed at one point up top high. I'm not going to be able to reach anybody with this shitty gun. So like, we're going to have to start risking it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? And that makes me a little excited. I'm like, okay, it's just like, it's fun. Someone asked me in another group I'm a part of, like, hey, as a Destiny player, does it make you nervous of losing your shit like every season? Because I feel like that's how it works in looter shooter or in extraction shooters, right? You lose everything every season. And I was like, that actually sounds like the best thing ever, just because the biggest thing for me to get back into Destiny right now is the fact that I'm like, fuck, I gotta grind to get all the loot. I gotta catch up. And one thing I'm really excited about Marathon to see if this works for me is where if I do take a couple of months off and not play, and I hop in the next season when it's hot, and like I can be at the same level as everyone else in a way, right? I'm not going to be like a pro extractionist. Is that the word? What's the other word? Where's the other word that they say? Exfil? No, we're exfillist.
An X-filler? Oh, I'm an X-filler. That's
okay, good. Sure. We are. All of us are. Look at us. We're filling our X's. Not really.
No. When you put it that way, I don't want to be an X-filler.
Maybe not. Yeah, no. But
Exfiltrator, serious. Thank you. Exfiltrator. Yep.
There we go. But I'm excited to lose my shit and then like us start over again. I would love that in Destiny.
Yeah.
Control asks, do you have butt pocket? Does that question make sense to y'all?
Butt pocket.
Next question.
Got it. Okay, next question, please.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it was something about when, I don't know. I lost it. So I guess I didn't realize that and this is me just showing my ass about not knowing extraction shooters.
Please.
So you can go, I fucking will. So you can go like 15 matches just getting better and better and better loot, selling loot to get like better weapons and stuff. But then if you die in a match, you have to start from scratch essentially again.
Yeah. You lose what you brought into the match.
Right. But like if there's something in your vault or whatever, got it.
Then it's safe.
Like, It's like in real life, if we're going out there to try to fill our X's, leave what you want to keep at home for real. You don't want to leave. You don't want to lose it. inside
So
of
the
it.
That's
butt
why I like
pocket is a slot where you don't lose that one item. Apparently,
I haven't
what they're
gotten
saying.
one of these slots yet. Maybe
I
we
have not
find that
either.
inside the X.
Right. Oh, I completely forgot. So I mentioned that like when you're leveling up with these organizations, these factions, whatever they call it in this game, it happens fairly quickly. Like I think by the time we stopped, I played like maybe one or two, maybe one match before the three of us played together tonight. And by the time that the three of us stopped, I was already like level 6. Like it doesn't take that long to level up, and you're getting those preloaded loadouts through those, but you also there's always one free one per day as well. So like if you don't want to, you don't even have to go in and earn a free loadout. You can just get one from the shop every day. It'll be different depending on the vendor.
Out. Sorry, I just had an urge. It
Go
came out of
ahead.
nowhere. I'm so sorry.
Always follow
Gotta
the
do it.
urge.
Yes. So like yeah, again, it's like for someone like me who's new to the genre, because I never played Arc Raiders, I never played Tarkov or anything like that. So my first experience with a true extraction shooter was the Server Slam like a week ago. So like for someone like me who's still really trying to learn the ropes of all this, like it's nice that there's so many options for like loadouts and how to acquire stuff. Because as Jerica mentioned a minute ago, like not only can you loot stuff obviously during your matches, but when you're getting the credits, the currency, you can go before the next one and like buy a weapon that you maybe think looked good that you can try out. So even if you don't loot one, you can still buy one. So there's
Is
a lot of
anyone playing that knows, the BR from Halo? What equivalent is the BR or the multi-mida tool from Destiny?
I found it.
Which one?
I didn't get to use it yet though.
Well, tell me what it is. Don't just keep that hidden.
I don't
What-
remember.
write it
Five
down.
subs.
When you
He will
find
tell
that,
you what it is.
when you find it, you're supposed to write that down. Write it down, Cog.
Okay.
Text
next-
it to me when you have a second.
I
Not
will-
right now.
I will try to fire it up tonight after this episode, and I will text you and say, Jerica, this is the name
Thank
of the
you.
weapon.
Because
And I
as soon
don't
as
remember-
I find my Mida tool, my Destiny gun, my favorite Destiny gun of all time, then
So
I'm
good.
unstoppable.
Because I remember it said it was like a 3-round burst. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can't wait to use this. And then I didn't yet. So, good story.
I hope that I get into Marathon. I will not be buying it now or in the near future, but I'm hoping. I feel like this is going to have legs, and I feel like even if it doesn't,
Marathon has legs because you run in a marathon. That's so good.
computer, how do I kick someone out of a podcast? Even if it doesn't, as you know, as long as it doesn't have something like a Concord or a High Guard launch in terms of number of players, not like anything else. They're going to keep this game going. I think they will eat any sort of a loss potentially in the hopes that this game finds its audience if it doesn't immediately. But it seems like people are already fucking with this game pretty heavy. So I don't
Yeah.
expect this game will kind of go away anytime soon. And I hope it doesn't, because I want this game to get refined a little more, get into its groove, and then I want to do a stream or just a night where like we get together and you guys show me how to play this game and explain to me everything you've learned. Basically, you do all the hard work and then you tell me all your secrets.
Listen, I was doing that. I'm trying to do that with my friends with Arc Raiders. I'm like, cool, they're really good. They can help me get better shit. So like, I get it. That is a perk of this gameplay. So yeah, like as soon as I hope I'm that good just to be able to bring you along with me and be like, look at that, Patrick, all that land, it's yours. Let's grab whatever liquid
Everything the light
cheeseburgers we
touches.
want. Liquid cheeseburgers, that's the thing. Drinkable
Oh, yeah, it
cheeseburgers
is.
are in this
It is.
game. Yeah.
Jerica, what is that called? When like there's a term for it in the community,
Protein
right?
shake.
No. Sorry, I meant what's the term for like higher level people who are like bringing in lower
Sweaties?
level folks?
Sweats.
No, they're like helping out the lower level folks by like getting them on their team. to, like-
Blueberries. Helping the shepherd the blueberries. That's all I remember from Destiny.
shepherding might be it. I don't remember the term.
I don't know. I mean, that's the
blueberries.
proper term. That's what
They're
Destiny
saying smurfing
says.
in the chat.
Okay. Well,
That's
y'all be
that's also when you
y'all
use your
keep
ID
your
to buy.
smurfing to yourselves. I don't smurf. I don't know what smurf. That sounds dirty. I don't know. I don't trust it.
Smurfing. I don't know. I don't know why, but smurfing is, or at least was at some point, a term for folks who would go in and use their ID to buy Sudafeds for people, so
Oh.
people can make meth with it.
Okay.
Oh,
Makes
W
sense.
math.
So like Patrick is the cook, but he's already maxed out his Sudafed for the month. So I go and use my ID to
Jordan,
get
how
some
the fuck do
Sudafed.
you know this?
I was a
I
pharmacy
got
tech.
that sunshine in my
Jesus
pocket.
God.
And my buns in buns in my
I just didn't
feet.
expect
Is
it.
that smurfing?
Yes. So yeah, for two reasons. One, I was a pharmacy tech, so I had to like check IDs to get Sudafed for people or whatever. But also they use the term at least once in Breaking Bad. I remember because I was like, I know that word.
There you go.
Yeah.
If Breaking Bad said it, it has to be true. That is the rule.
He did say we need to cook. Man, we do need to cook. We're cooking, chat. We're cooking.
Anything else about Marathon before we move on to the next video game of the night?
Ask me next week if I'm good yet, and I'll let you know.
Okay. I will
Okay.
do that. I will do that.
Thanks.
Even if
And
we
also
don't
ask me
content
next week
together.
what that gun is.
Okay.
Maybe I'll know.
I won't do that. But hopefully, Jerica. Well, if I may, again, be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Slay the Spire 2, y'all.
Do it.
This fucking game. Before I do this, have y'all played Slay the Spire 1 at all? Eddie Slay the
I've
Spire
been
knowers.
told everybody. I haven't. I don't listen. I try to play everything. There's so many video games, but everyone tells me to play it. They're like, "Oh, you like the card things? Play this game." Inscription. You should play Slay the Spire. I'm like, okay. So I'm excited to hear about the sequel if it's time for me to jump in or not.
I played a good few hours of it. I was never very good. I want to say I got to the boss of the city, which is like the second region, and never got further than that.
Okay.
So
I
did not slay any spires. I'll tell you
what
that.
I can tell you so far is that, in a way, this might sound negative, I'm surprised at how similar it is to the first game already. Like, it's been a long time since I played Slay the Spire 1, but it looks almost identical to me. Maybe that's just that thing that your brain does where it's like, this is what I remember it to look like, but it like has a new coat of paint. But like the cards look really similar. And like the general structure of the game is the same. But I have noticed a few like quality of life things and a few like different things that they have thrown in, whether it's like different abilities or the enemies are just different now. But man, this game, it's just, I forgot how good Slay the Spire is because it's been a bit since I played this game. I mean, this is like a top tier deck builder for sure. Like this is about as good as it gets in my experience with this type of a game. Like, not comparing this to a Balatro because it's a totally different type of experience, but it just like, that's like earlier I was referring to. I really don't know what to do with my time right now. Where it's like, I want to be playing Slay the Spire. I want to be playing Pokopia. I want to be playing Resident Evil Requiem. And because, I'm so impressed. It's the kind of thing where, like, we said this about Hades 2 a few months ago, Jerica, like when you and I talked about it, I don't understand why this is early access. Like, maybe there's something more about it.
Huh.
Like, that I just don't know about. Whether, like, with Hades 2, it was that the story wasn't done. Like, is there something about that with Slay the Spire 2 that I don't know about? Maybe. But it's so far, I'm like, why is this game in early access? Because this feels very, very strong to me. Granted, I played it for like an hour, so it could totally be different.
Yeah, hour 2 is where it all goes to hell, is what I believe.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know that there's like a whole lot else to say really. But like, if you like Slay the Spire, you want to play Slay the Spire 2, and if you've never played Slay the Spire, it's probably safe to just jump into this one at this point.
Oh hell yeah, that's what I love to hear.
Yeah,
I love when I don't have to play.
You can't skip the first one. You need the
Thank
context.
God. I hate doing that. So
that was me doing an impression of Jerica's comment section after she said you can skip Death Stranding 1. I think you did a pretty good job of my impression there. Yeah, please clap. Thank you.
Claps.
I saw it.
Yeah, Coleman's in the chat saying probably getting the stuff out to a broad audience to test card combinations and deal with bouncing before a full release, which like you're probably right.
That would make sense actually.
Yeah, but I'm also like, let's release it and patch it later. Like,
well, I feel like it's been like 10 years. How long's it been since the first one?
It has
been a long
that's a good
time.
question. Let me look.
Well, I can also look if you needed.
It's too late.
What is a computer?
2019. So 7 years.
Yeah, that's a good stretch of time there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I feel like a game like this, it's very common to release updates that nerf things, that adjust things, that just make it feel better or more cohesive or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, this is probably me just being a fucking idiot that has never designed a video game, and like this
Mm-hmm.
is the perfect plan for
Maybe.
them. It just, I don't know. It feels weird to me so far with like this game feels like a full fucking video game.
I'm getting less and less kind of what you're hinting at. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am personally getting less and less clear on when and why games are in early access.
Yeah.
You know?
That means a lot of it's almost like remake, remaster territory. Well, not same territory, but
Do not
similar,
invoke
like
his name.
conversation. Like, what is early access? What defines early access now? Sometimes you just never know. You like truly don't know what you're gonna get, and yeah, it is interesting. I guess it just depends on your game and what you need to get from testing.
Yeah.
Squanky said in the chat, and I'm not totally sure. So Squanky, if you're still here, let me know. Are you saying that Slay the Spire 2 has multiplayer? Is that just something that I've just not paid enough attention to? Because he says multiplayer may be a game changer for folks in Jerica or Jordan's position. This totally passed me by. I had no idea this was a multiplayer game too.
Is this part of early access? Can you play with someone now? I wonder.
I don't know.
So we should try it.
I think if I boot the game up, it'll fuck this stream up probably. So I won't check. But he's saying co-op.
You could look at the Steam page at Goober.
I couldn't do that actually.
Then I will. Slay the Spire 2, early access now available. Let's see here.
Coalmine says releasing an unbalanced game is not a great idea. With today's climate, people will look more so at word of mouth and reviews at launch when deciding to buy a game. They see a 7.5 with a "this is not a finished game" will make people not buy it. I guess. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, but it's like, can't you balance it yourself? Like via testing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe
It'd be cool if, like, you know, you got some like answer. Not that we deserve this information, but it would be nice to know, like, what does the developer need from me as someone that's playing their game in early access? Is there anything I could do to help them out?
Sure.
What are they gaining from this?
Right, because it's like, I don't know. For me, I get frustrated as a lover of this franchise now with Hades 2. You know, Hades 2, it did get nominations last year in the award shows and things. It didn't win nearly as much as some people would have thought that it should. But I feel like it really muddies that messaging for people too, of like, okay, there's all these people that are like, there are going to be people that put it on a top 10 list this year, but then there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are like, well, no, it's not fully released, so it can't be considered for game of the year. And then next year it'll come out in full 1.0, and then it'll be like that situation again where it's like, okay, well, a lot of people played it last year that aren't playing it anymore, and now the messaging is all fucked, and it just, I don't know. In that case, I wish that it was clearer.
I hate playing games in early access. I'll be honest. Like, I hate it. I'd just rather not do it. Like, I want the game to be done. Like, I really enjoy playing Moonlighter in early access, but I was just like, I fell in love with it so fast, and I'm like, this isn't the best experience. What am I doing? But luckily we got a code for it, so that was nice. But I was like, it would suck to spend money on a game that I don't really know, like, what is, and I guess they do a good job of like laying out what early access means and what's the scope of it. But I'm like, I don't know, like, I've just never been a fan. I don't usually buy into early access.
Sure.
Yeah. Patrick, it looks like it is. You can do the co-op in up to 4 players in the early access. So yeah.
Well, let's put the pedal to the metal.
Let's put the pedal to the metal. Yeah. I would love to.
I've forgotten this. Apparently, the first game was also in early access for about a year and a half.
Yeah,
before it released.
For sure.
Put the cards. I'm not gonna rhyme those words.
Okay.
Just scared.
Good idea.
Okay.
I wanted something to rhyme.
Put the cards to your nards.
Jake in the Twitch. Jake in the chat does remind me that one of the benefits of early access is helping fund the game. Of like they're getting $20, right? Or in this case, $25 that they can then put back into production to help expand stuff and add new stuff. So I guess there's that of it too. So I mean, who the fuck am I?
Still sort of expensive though. $20. Sure. Has it been worth your $20 though? Was this one $20?
I would already say I've gotten $25 worth of value
Okay, hell
in my
yeah.
1 hour of
So
playing.
never
for sure.
mind.
Because I know
I
that I'm
played,
going to play this already so much more after an hour.
I played early access, No Rest for the Wicked for about an hour and a half, and then I got a refund. So
Yeah, I was disappointed in that one.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, highly recommend so far with my 1 hour. I will circle back next week on Spotlight to see what more time I put into it. But if
I'm
anybody's
terrified to
interested
play
in a
it.
little co-op situation, you let me know.
I'd like to do that with y'all because I would like to do the multiplayer. Try that because I get real deep into Inscription took a lot from me, time. So
Oh,
I just
time. I
hear
was like, that sounded terrible. It took a lot from me.
it did emotionally as well. Like, and I just keep it says in my ear, Slay the Spire. I'm like, okay, one day I'm gonna get to this game. But then when I was like, oh, okay, there's a new one, I'll just wait for that. So
Yeah.
but I had
For a
no
long time,
clue it was multiplayer.
For a long time, the first one is not. And for a long time, the
Yeah.
first one was on Game Pass. So you may check that first, see if it still is. Because that's how I played a lot of it,
I'm not playing that one. I'm playing the hot new thing.
I'm just saying, if you want to save $25,
I
you just
don't
spent
think
40.
Slay the Spire 1 is
No.
on Game Pass, but I could be wrong.
I'd rather play
I
one
said,
that I can play with y'all,
it used
though.
to be. I said was.
Huh?
It's also on mobile, and that game actually
bad.
low-key can be better on mobile because it's a lot easier to force quit.
Oh,
on
I'm not
mobile
doing that.
to save
Never
scum.
nope, not putting it on the phone. That's
Just
a
saying.
slippery, like, oh, that's just not good. It's not good for me.
It's not good. It's not good, folks.
Nope.
I would guess because I've played Slay the Spire on a few different consoles. I would guess. Actually, I guess I can look to see the playtime on Steam of the original game, but I probably put double the amount of time on Steam for Slay the Spire that I did on mobile, and
Huh.
so I do look forward to the day that I can play Slay the Spire 2 on mobile because
Ooh.
it just works on mobile, man. Like it feels, especially if you're like me and you'll be halfway through a battle and it's like, "Ugh, I fucked up. Let me just try again." And you quit and open the app again and then try again. Because it's not as easy to do that on PC. I've learned because
Can I find out how many
Okay.
hours I
I've
had
tried.
into the first game?
I tried looking it up and it didn't show up immediately when I searched Slay. So I just
Oh my, I didn't know that. Okay. According to, because again, I played a lot on Game Pass, and I think I had Ultimate at the time, so I was playing it on my phone a lot too, because it was so easy and convenient. Time played 2 days and 34 minutes.
wow.
So,
Okay.
I guess I got I played
Nearly
48
50
hours and
hours.
never got past the second stage. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I am already on. I had to stop my
Oh.
run because I got to the third stage with my very first run. I was like, I gotta stop and prep for this podcast because who knows how long.
Okay,
this-
so you're better than me. You think you're better
What-
than me, and you're better than me.
what
It's fine.
murder? So yeah, go play Slay the Spire. Gwanky also makes a good point. Slay the Spire is a great $25 gamble, and that if you like it, you'll end up playing 200 hours of it over many years.
No.
Also, he says it's still on Game Pass.
There you go.
I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it.
You should buy the new one. Sure.
I don't think I need to do that either. I just safely
All right. Well, I'll just
want...
go fuck myself then.
No, I didn't say that.
the camera
I
on.
just Can I play without the game, like multiplayer with you? Can you like bring a friend?
I don't know.
I doubt
I
it.
don't need the game on my computer. I wish you can just like share it with me without it installing.
Sure. Yeah,
You can do that with Pokopia, by the way. If Audrey wants to play like multiplayer with you on her Switch Lite, you can game share it to her.
I don't think that's gonna work.
It's the thing.
It's not on Switch 2 though.
with
Or it's on
Pokopia, you
Switch
can.
Lite.
Game share.
You
That's,
can. She could play Pokopia with you via game share on the Switch Lite.
I'm so confused because I think it. Why is it? I'm just having a brain fart. It
That's
is
okay.
only a Switch 2 game.
It is,
Yes.
but there is
How can
something
she play
about
it on
the
this-
way that they
One of
designed
you
it.
at a time. Tell me.
Something about the way they designed it. that
Okay.
It is specifically designed in that you can do game share with any Switch console if they don't own the game, but it has to be like a co-op situation. She couldn't just play the
Okay.
game on her own.
So it's like okay.
Yeah.
That
Kind
makes
of
sense.
like
But
Bonanza did that too, where like you can game share to a Switch, and whoever's on the Switch controls Pauline's like yells, and it like breaks up the environment. Like
no, I mean,
essentially,
I-
essentially they are streaming a version of the game
Yeah.
on their Switch from your Switch 2. To put it like as simply as I can think to put it.
that makes sense. I was like, that
yeah.
doesn't make sense. How can it? I understand what y'all are talking about now. I think it's sort of stupid though. Still, I need her to have her own Switch. We're not going to share.
I can't expect that it works super well, especially on the
It
Switch
can't.
side.
That
I'm
thing's
sure
so
it works
cute,
to
though.
a well enough degree, but I don't think that would. If I'm Audrey, I don't want that to be the way I play Pokopia.
It's sort of gross. It's sort of dirty. I feel bad.
Yeah,
Also, I don't want her on my island. I don't know what she might find.
that's so true.
My Ditto gets up to things.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
Secret Tharn of Fun.
I know it. I'm at a crossroads, gamers.
Oh.
I can't decide if I want to talk about Resident Evil Requiem or play it.
If you play it, I'm probably just play some more marathon and then tell Jerica what gun I found. So
Well, there you go.
Please, that would be nice. And here's the other thing. I'm also saying this. I feel like I've talked about it so much. We
have one more game over on twitch.tv/Jerica Games Podcast with hours soon to be of discussion. Episode 1 featuring Matt
So much.
Exposure. Yeah, I think it's time to shut the shit down, and I'm going to play a little Resident Evil 9 once we finish
I would
the
love to
podcast.
invite you on the last episode, though. You
Yeah,
know,
okay.
if you're
I accept.
available.
As long as
Okay.
I'm available. I should be.
yeah, Patrick, real quick.
Yeah.
Since we are at least going to mention RE9 because that was also brought up very, very frequently from our community. David, again, the aforementioned Friendship Designs betrothed. Can't believe RE9 and Pokopia came out a week apart. I feel so spoiled. Gianni DaCosta, the homie, started work with him last night. So far, give me everything I want from Resident Evil without any of the filler. Coal mines deep into RE9, and man, it is so sick.
Ooh.
Kayla had mentioned Marathon during the Service Slam and Pokopia and Resident Evil and also Legend of Kimori, the horse courier game.
That's my horse sound.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Hell yeah.
That's all I
Exactly.
know.
So it is
That's not
it is a hit with all the fans, folks.
I love it.
Games.
And
You can
I'm
quote
gonna
me
go
on
play
that.
it here shortly. But in the meantime, let's just close this podcast down. People in the chat, don't go anywhere. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Drop It Drop Out. You go to dropitdropoutpod.com to get everything that we do. That's the JK Games Podcast, One More Game. That's Spotlight Games. That is Cognitive Clips video essays. That is Jake Twitchin's daily streams. And so much more. We're so glad that you found us, that you're listening, that you're watching, etc., etc. We will be back so soon. In fact, if you're in the chat, in seconds. But until then, I'm going to wave and say goodbye.